All right, Mr. Perfect. Welcome to the basic combat training. Today we're going to go through a bunch of the core mechanics and things involved, which will help you kind of stay oriented during gameplay with us, and most importantly, it'll allow you to have fun. If you don't know this basic information, you'll kind of like be lost, and most likely you won't have a very good time. So, first things first, we'll go over some basic keybinds. So obviously, WASD is move around, right?
Yeah.
You can right click to pull your weapon up. You can again right click to turn that weapon off, and you can press your primary mouse button to shoot. Let's shoot a bullet. There we go. All right. So the way weapons work in this game is that specifically talking about primary weapons is that they simulate the actual containment of 30 rounds. I mean, how many ever rounds inside your chamber. So if you reload, if you shoot like 5 bullets, let's say, and then you reload like you would in any other ordinary game, that magazine will have 25 bullets forever. So like if you pull it up later on, if you go through all of your through all of your magazines, and then you put this one in, this won't have 30 bullets, it'll have 25. I hope that makes sense. You understand what that means?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. So now next keybind we're going to go through is double tap control to lower your weapon. Double tap control.
Didn't get you. Double tap.
Double tap control. The control button on your keyboard. Yeah.
Oh.
So if you do that, it almost like puts the weapon down.
Okay.
You can also holster the weapon if you press 0 on your numbers on the top of the keyboard. If you put 0 on the on top, it'll put the weapon back. Okay. So if you press 1, it'll bring it back. And to switch to your secondary, it's number 2. And if you have a launcher, it is 3, but you don't. So we'll go back to our primary right now. Number 1.
Copy.
Right. Good. 1 second. Okay. Next, we're going to talk about movement. So let's come over here. Come on this yellow line over here and face that way. Come on the line and face that way. Face that way.
Oh, like I am
come
moving,
on the line.
But my gun is not moving.
What do you mean? What do you mean your gun isn't moving?
Am I facing correctly?
Oh, okay. So you must have double tap alt. If you double tap alt, it toggles to free look. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. So you can press alt to look around while keeping your body stationary. It's useful for like scanning the environment. No, if you press alt, you're not pressing alt. If you press alt, without moving your body, you can look around.
Okay.
Understand how that works? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So next we're going to talk about crouching. So you press X to crouch. And you press Z to go prone. And you can switch between either of them. So like if you want to stand up again, you press X. You can switch to crouching, and then if you press X again, it goes to this. And if you want to go directly without crouching, directly want to go prone, you press Z directly. Understand how that works? And then you press Z to directly stand up again. You understand how that works?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. Now you press Q and E to peek while holding your weapon up. Just like, to peek around corners and things like that. Okay. Now you can press control. So there are special stances, but we don't take that over in the BCT. So let's ignore that for now. Next, we're going to talk about running. So this is jogging. You press W. You're jogging. Yeah. There you go. You're jogging. All right. Now if you press shift, you're sprinting.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's stop. Now there's a third one, which is walking. So you can press Control C. Press Control C once and then try to move. Try to move now. Yeah. You press Control C once. C, not S, not W. Now move around. Move around. No, you haven't pressed Control C yet. Control C again. There we go. So this is walking. You're not aiming down sights, are you? Double tap control once. Yeah, there we go. So you can walk.
Oh, there's a snake.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, you can walk around just like that.
Yeah.
Got it? Okay, now there is a fourth one. So you can, while running, you still have the option to sprint around, but to go back to jog, you press Control C once more, and it goes back to jog. There you go. All right.
Yeah.
Then the final speed is something called combat pace. So combat pace is the general pace that you will be at while running around in formations. It's
User
slower
joined your
than a
channel.
jog and faster than a walk. And the reason we use that is to cover long distances when we have to and things like that. You understand? So
Yeah.
to get into this, you double tap C, and then try to run. It'll feel like you're jogging, but it's slower than the normal jog. Okay?
Okay.
So just for reference, stop. I'm going to go back to normal jogging pace, and you're going to be at the current pace, the combat pace. So let's move.
Yeah.
You see how there is a difference? It's almost
Yeah,
like
yeah,
75% faster. Okay. So the thing is, next I'm going to talk to you about stamina. So stamina in this game, just give me 1 sec. I'm actually having chai as well. Yeah. So 1 sec. Who the fuck is shooting? Okay. So stamina in this game is like how you would think. It's mostly trying to simulate real life. So if you run very fast for long distances, obviously you'll be out of breath. And then if you try to aim down sights and try to shoot, it'll be a little bit hard for your character to try and stabilize the gun. That obviously depends a lot on your weapon size and things like that. So for example, this is a very light weapon. So this is the HK416, which is rocking no attachments, very simple silencer and holographic sight. So it's a fairly light weapon, as light as it can get. Okay. So if you're running, if you've sprinted, with the way to manage your stamina is to look on the top right. There will be a very translucent bar. If you look around towards the sky, look up in the sky.
Yeah.
This is just to show you the position of it. You don't have to look up in the sky for checking your stamina. So there's a very translucent bar. The higher it is, that the more stamina you have. The higher it is, the more stamina you have in your physical capability. So you can run for that long. All right. Now.
Don't worry.
So more capability you have it enabled in your ability to run. So the thing is, you're not going to be able to sprint the whole way. It's going to, like, the more it gets down, the slower your character is going to eventually get. And obviously, if you're going uphill, it's going to cost you a lot more stamina. And if you're going downhill, it's going to cost you less stamina. Okay. Yeah, and make sure, like, your stamina also controls your weapon sway. So pull up your weapon. Pull up your weapon,
disconnected from your channel.
and now look very closely. Even now that we have full stamina, your weapon still has a little bit of sway. Do you notice it?
Yeah,
Just a little bit of sway. Yeah. So you can counteract that by pressing shift. So your character holds the breath for a little while. The sway doesn't completely disappear, but it goes away for a while. Okay. And this also consumes a little bit of stamina, so you can't do it when you have low stamina. You can do it, but just for a very for a little while. Compared to now, you can do it for comparatively longer time.
When I'm using that shift, the stamina is not getting consumed.
No, it doesn't show that it's getting consumed. It's like stamina is not the same as breath. So your character uses his breath. So it's more instantaneous compared to stamina. Get it?
Yeah.
So you can do it only for a little while. If you keep holding shift, there'll be a point where your character kind of leaves his breath and the gun moves around a little bit extra. If you just check that.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay. Next, we're going to talk about enhanced movement. So in the vanilla game, if you have to get over an obstacle, you press V and your character does this. Press V. There we go. So that's the only way to move around in the vanilla game. Okay. But in
vanilla game means?
Vanilla is without mods and everything.
User joined your channel.
Okay, so with the mods, we have something called enhanced movement. Just follow me here. Okay, so for example, over here, if you wanted to get across this, you could press that V button. And you would get around it. There we go. Right? But we also do have enhanced movement. That means we've added a bunch of stuff. So for example, something like this, if you just came across and you pressed V, it wouldn't really work that well. Right? So instead what you do is you move up while holding W, you press V. While holding shift and you press V, it crosses that. There we go. right? So you understand?
While pressing
Similarly,
got it.
similarly over here you can climb these things. So if you do the same keybind that you just did right now, you can climb up just like Monas did right now. There we go.
Yeah, got it.
Nice
Okay.
one, nice one.
Now to get down, come to the ledge and press the same keybind without the W. So Shift V, like what if you do that, you'll take damage. So you come to the ledge and you press Shift V, and your character will like do that again. It's a little glitch. There we go. Your character will like slowly come down without taking damage. Okay. So that is
Yeah, got
a little bit about enhanced movement. You can also jump. You press Shift V in your position. He'll jump. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's weird. All right. So that is it about enhanced movement. Next, we're gonna move on to something called the ACE arsenal and ACE interactions. Okay.
Arsenal and ace interaction. Okay.
Yeah. So one sec. Okay. So, in the vanilla game, when you want to interact with the vanilla game that is without mods, when you want to interact with stuff, you have to go to it, pull up the scroll menu, come over here, pull up the scroll menu, you'll see inventory. Yeah. And to select stuff, you had to.
No. How to access this scroll menu?
So, like you press scroll on the left, you'll see something come up. Do you see it? You'll see
No.
inventory highlighted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No. Get out of it. Get out of it. Press escape. Press escape.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Now come close to it and then scroll wheel mouse up and down. So anyway, and then on the left you'll see a button show up. You see inventory?
No.
On the left you don't see anything? Are you putting the scroll wheel up and down?
Yeah, I'm seeing an inventory.
Yeah. So
Like I can't see the inventory. Only it's written inventory. But
yeah. So that's obviously. Yeah. So in the vanilla game this is how you interact. You go up to stuff, you scroll wheel, and then like there'll be a bunch of options when there is options possible. So for example, if I were to spawn a car, one sec. If I were to spawn a car, right? I did that. Don't worry about that. Fucking, I told them not to come to this base. Okay, so look at this. Come over here, and then if you scroll wheel, you'll get a bunch of options.
Yeah, I'm getting.
Yeah. So this is the way to interact in the vanilla game. So instead of that, there's a new menu that the mods allow us to have, which is called the ACE menu. Okay. It's a far more complicated and far more better system of interacting with stuff. So there are two variants of this. One is the self-ACE interact, and one is the ACE interact. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. There's some fucking thing flying around.
I forgot the key to like hold the gun. How you're holding?
1. So like that'll pull up the weapon. Yeah, that'll bring the weapon out, and then you double tap control, and then it'll put it down. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you was speaking something about this.
So there are two ways. There are two variants of the ACE menu. One is the self-ACE interact, and one is the ACE interact. So first we'll talk about the self-ACE interact. That is everything to do with you, your kit, and your personhood. Okay. So if you hold control and you press the Windows button, you'll see a menu pop up on the right side.
Yeah.
Your mouse will appear like how it would in desktop, and you'll be able to select a bunch of crap. Yeah. So from the top, we'll take it from the top, and I'll explain what each. So each of these are sub menus. Each of them have like sub menus of their own. So if you go into gestures, there'll be discussion, action, hand signals, all that stuff. This is completely irrelevant. We'll go into equipment, which is the first important one in the list. Okay. So the first important one, let's go from the top to the bottom. So you can drop your backpack. You can wipe your goggles. There are accessories that you can detach. You can check your weapon temperature. You can fix if you're stuck on the map somewhere. You can fix that with this menu. Fix stuck map bug. Next is put backpack on your chest. There are some instances where you need to do that. You can attach item. You can put your earplugs in. Let's go ahead and put our earplugs in. So when you want to select something, you just want to highlight it, and then you want to leave the menu. Did it say earplugs in on the right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I
So
click it?
yeah. Now just leave it. Now leave the menu. Drop Control and Windows from your keyboard. You just ace interacted on me. Why did you do that? Like, are you not following what I just
No.
said?
No, I got it. Like
So
I've pressed-
are your earplugs in?
Yeah. My earplugs in.
Okay. So let's go through it again. So Control Windows is for the list. Are you seeing the list? Can you read the list back to me?
Yeah. White goggles, accessories, check weapon temperature, fix stuff max.
Yeah.
Sling helmet, attach item, earplugs out.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So
I
you have
just-
your earplugs in. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
So equipment. We'll talk more about this. I'm just showing you both the variants. Okay. Equipment, radios, team management. Team management is another important one where you can join a specific team within your group.
In which menu is this? In equipment?
In the self-face no, not an equipment. Under it there is radios. You see radios.
Yeah. Radio.
Under that there is team management.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, joint.
So yeah, so in that so this is very important, by the way. So you can also check air temperature, you can check you can do animations, you can do gestures. Medical and medical menu are super important. We'll come back to this later. So
Okay.
you know how to pull up your self-face interact? If I say pull up your self-face interact, do you know how to pull up that menu?
Yeah. Control Windows. Then
Good.
self-
Good. Yeah. Good.
Actions,
No.
equipment.
Yeah, that's all. No.
Okay.
Don't go that far. So if I say something
Okay.
like it'll be in your self-face menu, that means you have to do Control Windows and then look for that specific action. Okay? Understand?
Okay, copy.
Now next is the ace interact. Come here. So an ace interact, double tap control. It feels very threatening when you're holding the weapon in my face. Yeah. Okay. Now come here. So you can interact with things like, for example, objects, people, and vehicles and things like that using the ace interact menu. It's a much better way compared to the vanilla one. So if you come up to this and you just hold the start button, you'll see a small dot up here and a red circle up here.
Start button?
Yeah, just hold the start button, you'll see interactions.
Oh, where's the start button?
The start button, dude, the Windows button.
Okay, there's a red dot.
Yeah, so a red dot, and if you look at the box over here, you'll see interactions.
Yeah. Open.
Yeah, yeah, all that stuff is there, right? So you can open it, you can rename that, you can ask. So every single object will have their own specific set of interactions. So if it's a vehicle, for example, come here. So if you come up to this and you ace interact, you'll see a different set of interactions. If you highlight get in, yeah.
Yes.
So get into the driver's seat. I just want to see if you're able to do it. You can just leave the windows. Yeah, there we go. All right, perfect. So now you can exit out of the vehicle by pressing V. Press V. There we go. Okay. So you're understanding how there are two variants of the menu. So when I say self-face interact and ace interact, you're able to differentiate between them?
Yeah.
So
Clearly.
which one is the self-face interact?
Control Windows.
All right, good.
Start
And ace interact is?
Windows.
Okay, good. Amazing. So now I've showed you the two. Come here. Somebody's shooting weapons. That's fine. So I've showed you the ace interact and the ace menu. Now let's take a look at the arsenal. Okay. यार बहन के लौड़े Dopa.
Yeah,
Do you have Zeus?
I don't.
I'm gonna give you Zeus. Just fuck off from the base. Don't be near the base right now.
Okay.
I'm doing BCT.
Copy.
In fact, Monas, I'm gonna give you Zeus as well. Just go away. Oh no, never mind, Monas. I need to do the medical on you, so just stay here. Okay. So look up on this, ace interact on this, and look for the arsenal. Open up the arsenal.
Yeah.
So are you in the menu? There we go.
I'm in the menu.
So now this is the place where you arm yourself. This is the place where you can change your kit. You can change stuff about your character and things like that, right? So you can obviously on the left you'll be able to see like a bunch shit of weapons and like there's like hundreds of them. You can go through them at your own time. On the right side of them, you'll see specific attachments for each of the categories. So just take 1 minute and try to figure out everything, and I'll see what you've learned. Just try to figure out the entire arsenal as soon as possible. I'll change your kit back. Don't worry. Just go crazy. Just like try to figure out what each of them does, like what each category does. Don't just be stuck in the weapons. You can also check your uniform, fucking vest.
I just had a doubt in this. Like,
yeah.
If I press something, that gun should pop up on this thing, right? It's not showing like what I'm doing.
No, if you select it, it's already being selected. So your character has equipped that gun. I can see the P90 right now in your hand.
Okay, got. I have to focus on my character. I was focusing on the box. So.
Oh yeah. No, you have to look at yourself. He's already wearing that specific thing. So I'll just like run through it. You can like explore at your own time. I'll just run through the stuff. So your rifle can be selected in the rifle category that you have right now, and you can change the attachments on that rifle from the right side under each category. All right. Same goes to the handgun. Same goes to the launcher. Your headgear is your helmet. What you're wearing on your head. It's protect. Who the fuck is this? Yeah, Monas, there's a guy right next to the fucking right next to the runway. Can you tell him to fuck off or kill him or something? Right next to the runway. Piche, tere piche. I can't hear you, by the way. Yeah. Okay. So you can change your helmet. Okay. So it can be armored, non-armored, whatever that is fine. Uniform. Now these next three things are very important.
User disconnected from your channel.
The uniform, the vest, and the backpack is where you carry your stuff. So obviously your uniform is like what camo you're wearing, camo or clothes you're wearing. But more importantly, these are the three things which allow you to carry stuff into battle. So, for example, in real life, how do you carry your phone? You carry them in your pockets and things like that, right? So, your uniform... Fucking... 1 sec.
हेलो
भाई क्या
यहाँ
तुम
पे
लोग
मत करो कुछ
बेंचो मतलब बीसीटी दे रहे हो यार यहाँ पे नौटंकी ना करो ना यार कहीं और जाके करो पूरा मैप है भाई 20 किलोमीटर बाय 20 किलोमीटर का मैप है Okay, sorry. So in real life, you carry your things like, for example, your ammunition, your fucking GPS. All of the stuff that you need to carry is carried in these three categories. You understand what that is? The arsenal में जो 3 categories है. Are they fucking kidding me or something? एक second. Okay, so wait. So you were. I was saying you carry all of your stuff that you take into battle, including your ammunition, your stuff, in these 3 categories. That is your vest, backpack, and uniform. You understand the logic behind that?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
The storage thing.
Yeah, the things where you store everything. Everything that you need to carry into battle is in these 3 things. Now let's go into the next one. Backpacks, vest, and uniform. Vest and uniform. Alright. Next is face wear. This is completely cosmetic. Sometimes it is use case. So for example, if you wear a gas mask and there is like a gas, sometimes you'll need to wear a gas mask. You understand the logic. The next is night vision goggles. These you get to choose your night vision goggles. You can change your laser. You can change your binoculars. You can check the map. You can check your terminal, communication, navigation, watch, face, voice, and insignia. Understand?
Yeah.
Understand all these? Alright, good. Right. Okay, so I'm just gonna change your kit back to the original one. Just stop changing stuff. Stop changing stuff. Okay.
I had a question in this, like whether we have to be in this uniform all the time or
during missions, yes, we all have a same uniform because otherwise we won't be able to tell ourselves apart from the enemy.
Okay.
Okay. So
what if I change, then I have to reset it then?
So you just take that uniform back again from the arsenal. So that's why I'm telling you, because since it'll take me a long time to explain how to find stuff, you can just
Okay.
explore it. It'll take you 5 minutes to understand how to like explore the arsenal. And if you have any doubts, people will help you. We're gonna move on to the next one
User
because
joined your
otherwise
channel.
this session will run into 2 hours and
got
you know
it.
things
No
like that.
issues,
Okay. Next, जियो भोसड़ी के भाई यहाँ पे क्यों कुछ भी आवाजें कर रहा है चल anyway next is medical. So the medical system is a lot more complex compared to the normal vanilla system. So in the vanilla system, whenever you get shot, you just like a star pops up and you press spacebar and your guy magically heals himself. In this, it doesn't work like that. There's a lot more things to understand. So in your kit, if you open up so to check your inventory, you press I. So you'll be checking your inventory. Now on the left side, towards where on the left side you see 3 boxes. In the middle, 3 boxes you see. If you highlight them, it says CRPF Cobra uniform. Do you see that?
Yeah. CRPF,
Yeah.
Cobra uniform.
So everything under that specific box is the stuff that is inside your uniform. On the right, do you see something from VSM? OGA, OD, LBT, Arma, Test,
OGA,
Preacher.
yeah.
So
OGA,
that is your vest. Everything in that category is your stuff inside your vest. And on the right,
Okay.
you'll see an empty backpack icon because you don't have a backpack right now. But if you had a backpack, you'll see all the stuff that is stored inside your backpack in that category. Okay. On the very
Okay,
left, do you see ground? On the very left,
Yeah.
something is about to change in that category. So I just put something on the ground. Do you see a bandage? Do you see a bandage on the
No.
left? On the very left.
No.
Okay, come front a little bit. Come towards this place. Yeah. Now press I. Now come close over here. Now press I. I. Yeah. Do you see a
Yeah, I
bandage?
see.
Yeah. Now you can drag that into your. Let's drag that into your uniform. Just drag it from the ground and put it into your uniform. And drop
Yeah,
it there.
it's fine.
Drag and drop. Okay, good.
Yeah, it's
So this is how you pick up and drop items. You can drag and drop items from your inventory out into the ground or into the thing. Understand?
okay. If I drag it outside, it will be.
It will drop.
on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's drop
Got
that. Let's drop a bandage. Packing bandage. Drop one. I just want to see if you can do it. Perfect. Good job. All right. Okay.
can't-
So no, I picked it up. Don't worry. Okay. So next, just take a look into your inventory. You'll see there's packing
User left
bandage,
your
quick
channel.
clot bandage. There's
User joined
epinephrine.
your channel.
I'm talking just about the medical in your uniform itself.
Mm-hmm.
There's bandage packing, bandage quick clot. Do you see those two?
Yes.
Yes. Go down a little bit. You'll see epinephrine auto injector. You see that?
Yeah.
Alright.
Morphine.
And there is morphine auto injector,
Yes,
and
yes.
then there is splint, and there is tourniquet.
Yes.
Okay. So these are all the medical items that you carry on yourself. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here is shoot our test subject a little bit. First, come up to him. Come close to him. Close to
User
him. Come close to
disconnected
him.
from your channel.
And now press H. Press H when you're looking at him.
User joined
Yeah,
your
I can
channel.
see his body.
So on the top left of the menu, you'll see name of the person you're looking at. Do you see it?
Yes. Monas.
Yeah. Now go back. Now press escape and go back. Press escape, go back, and don't look at him anymore. Go look that way. Now press H. You see your name on the top
Yeah,
left.
it's mine.
Now this is yours. Okay, get it?
Okay.
Now the process that I'm going to explain over here applies to both of these menus. Both of the menus look very similar. The only thing is either you're treating somebody else or you're treating yourself. Got it?
Got it.
Okay. Now, so come up to him and press H. Come up to him and press H.
Yeah.
Now you see, I'm just going to take you through the menu. So on the left where it says examine and treatment, it says on the bottom it says view triage card. View triage card is the number of procedures that have been done on him. Next, there's examine patient, right?
User
Next there is
disconnected from
bandages
your
and
channel.
fractures. Next
Yeah.
there's medication. Next there's advanced treatments. Next there's drag carry. Next there's toggle self. So when you're looking at somebody, you can toggle between yourself and them. Press that
Okay,
button once and go back to Monas.
Yes.
Done? Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Got it.
Now go to the human character that is standing in the middle under status. Now there are 5 clickable 6
User
clickable
joined your
possible things.
channel.
Okay, so one is his head, one is the arms, one is the torso, and one are the legs. So you can select individual legs, individual limbs, the torso, and the head. These are the clickable objects. Correct?
Yeah.
On the right, it shows you the diagnosis. Okay, overview. So on the head, there is currently no injuries, obviously, because he's still alive, walking, and he's fine. So you'll see these things. Okay, now just watch how the menu changes. Okay, now it's clotted up. Fuck. Oh, fuck's sake.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, don't worry, I'll fix him. Okay. So, Monas, get the fuck up. Get up. Monas, get up. Stand up. I'm just gonna hit him again. These are fucking 9mm, that's the problem. What the fuck? Stand still. Oh my god! Alright, it's fine. No, it's fine, it's fine. It'll still be valid. Come here. So you see he's down, but he's not dead, right? He's just incapacitated. Just go to him and press H. Do you see any difference in the menu?
He's not dead?
I'll explain that later.
Okay.
Who fixed him? Did you fix yourself?
Hmm?
Are you fucking retarded? Did you just get up automatically? That makes no sense. But okay, anyway. So it still demonstrates my point. Just come up to him and just press H. Do you see a difference in the menu? Do you see some difference?
He's bleeding. His left
Yeah.
leg is bleeding.
So you click on the leg. Click on the leg. On the top left where I showed you bandages and fractures, click on that. Okay.
Yes.
First, we're going to stop his bleeding. So let's first tourniquet him. Press apply tourniquet. Apply tourniquet. Press that. Press the button under bandages and fractures. There we go. Okay. Now, now click on packing bandage. No, I can't hear you, Monas. Yeah. Now just fix him up a little bit on that. Keep doing it until he's still bleeding a little bit. He's still bleeding. Do it once more. Do it once more. So, the way to tell whether he's bleeding or not is you have to keep bandaging him until it gets blue like this. If it's blue like this, that means the bleeding has stopped. Alright?
Okay, got it.
And now you can remove the tourniquet. Remove the tourniquet. That tourniquet is reusable, but if you leave it there, he will take it into his inventory. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Now, as you can see, he's fine, more or less. But he will have to get a stitch from a medic later on. But right now, he's fine. He can fight. He can continue to fight. The only difference is that he's in pain right now. So, you can ask him to take a morphine. Monas, take a morphine. Don't give him a morphine. Don't give him a morphine. Monas, take a morphine. Monas, take a morphine. Yeah, he's taking a morphine right now. I don't know what the fuck's up with the animation. He's taking a morphine, so his pain will subside eventually. Okay? Now I'm going to do the same thing on you. Except I'm going to change my weapon to something less threatening. Yeah, okay. So, stand still. Yeah, you're bleeding right now. So, let's see yourself. Let's see fixing yourself up. Fix yourself up. Are you fixing yourself up? I don't see it.
Yeah, no.
You're looking at me. Don't look at me.
No, yeah, I'm looking at you. Left leg. Right tourniquet.
User disconnected from your channel. User joined your channel.
Perfect. Now remove the tourniquet. Have you done it?
Yeah, no, I'm good. 1 second. Yeah, done.
No,
But
you.
it's still showing remote tourniquet.
Yeah, some moron fucking healed you right now. This is why I don't want people around in the server when doing BCT. Okay. So the thing is, you're completely healed now, which I did not want to happen. So I'm going to shoot you again. I want you to do it again. Reason being that I'm trying to teach you when to take morphine. Okay.
Got it. Okay.
This time I'm going to shoot you in 2 different legs. One sec. Stand still. Stand still. Look at me. Oh my god. Yeah, dying a little too quick. One sec. Let me do it again. Oh, fuck's sake. Come on. What the fuck? This we have to fix our medical ace a little bit. Hang on. So, I'll just tell it to you in theory. You can fix it up
Hello,
later
Google.
on. क्या है?
अबे ऐसे कैसे हो गया?
I'll fix it up. I'll just explain the point of morphine. Stand up. Like press X. Crouch with me. Yeah. So morphine is taken to counteract pain. Obviously, you know that. Now the thing is, you can overdose on morphine if you take 2, either at the same time or in between 50 minutes in the operation. Okay. So if you take 2 more than 1 morphine in the span of 50 minutes, it's very likely that you will overdose and fucking pass out. Okay. It's used for raising blood pressure and lowering the lowering the heart rate. You can pass out because of low blood pressure. Okay, so you might wanna chill on the morphine unless you absolutely have to take it. If your character is in pain, he won't be able to aim straight, see straight, things like that. You understand what that is? Get it?
Vision.
You'll have a blurry vision. You know, it can get a little hard to concentrate, and your character will be grunting constantly. You understand? I think microphone is a little messed up. Can you hear me? Hello?
अब आ रही है मेरी आवाज?
हाँ तेरी आ रही है. इसकी नहीं आ रही है.
मैंने भाई घटिया हो गया था मेरा भाई. थैंक यू.
इसका नहीं आ रहा आवाज अब.
अरे कुछ
Check your mic once. I can't hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay.
Now?
So
Now?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay. So so you understand medical, right? You can fix yourself up.
Yeah, sure. I can.
So again, one more theory part. I'm just letting you know. So in case you're bleeding from, let's say, 4 places, make sure you first you can only tourniquet your limbs. You can't tourniquet your torso and your head, obvious reasons, right? So if you tourniquet you can tourniquet your limbs to reduce the bleeding. If you lose too much blood, you can pass out again from low blood pressure.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and anything else?
I can
yeah,
tourniquet only one part of the body once.
No, you
So
can
if I-
tourniquet all 4 limbs, but you can't tourniquet your torso and
Head.
your head, obviously, because
yeah.
it's like a shoelace, right? So like you tie it to stop blood flow to that region. Get it?
Yes.
So
Yes, got it.
also one more thing. So if you've taken a shot in your hand and you're still under the firefight and you've still not won the battle yet, you can tourniquet your hand and be fine. You don't have to like immediately patch it up. You can fight. Just have the tourniquet on to stop and reduce the blood flow that is going out. You don't want to lose too much blood. If you've lost blood, you'll be able to tell. Just take a look. Sometimes right now you're perfectly fine, but like you'll be able to tell when you've lost blood. It'll say lost a lot of blood, or lost some blood, or things like that, right?
Yes. Yeah. I've
So
seen that, yes.
yeah, so if you've lost lot to a fatal level of blood, you want to tell your medic and get yourself an IV to fix that out. Okay, because you can either pass out at any time or you won't be able to see properly. Understand?
Understand.
Okay, so these are the medical things that I had to cover. Next, let's move on to communication. So we use TeamSpeak for obvious reasons. So if you just stand still, if I move around you, you'll be able to hear my voice from different directions. So this is
Yeah.
positional voice that we try to simulate, right? So next, I'm going to talk to you about levels of the like how you can adjust your speaking volume. So you hold Control and you press Tab. On the bottom right, there should be something. There should be a character which does stuff. So if you hold Control and press Tab multiple times, you should see 3 different modes, 3 distinct modes you can switch from. So you can go into normal talking, you can go into shouting, and you can go into whisper. Understand how that works?
Yeah, understood.
Okay, good. Next, we're going to talk about radio. So if you press Control P, a radio should pop up on the left side. Yeah, you can move it around using your cursor, like you can move it around from on your screen. Now, if I on that number on the right side, if you see that number, whatever number that is, you can highlight it using like how you would in a text editor. You can
Yes.
select it, highlight it, Now on your number pad, not on the, just on your number pad, put in 50.
Yeah.
As it say 50, C150, does it say?
Yes.
Okay. Now on the right side of the face, there's something called ENT. That is the set frequency button. You see it? You see the ENT
No,
button
didn't
on the dial where like all the numbers are on the radio itself. You see ENT, that is the set
Yes,
frequency
yes.
button.
Enter.
Click on that. Click on that and press escape.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to do a radio check. Radio check 50. You hear that?
Yeah, I hear that.
Now you can press caps lock to transmit on the radio. Press caps lock and give me a radio check.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. So when you're doing a radio check, you don't say can you hear me? You say radio check 50 and you also say your name just to confirm. So give me a radio check.
Radio check 50.
Good check. Alright. So that's how you communicate. If you're farther than the ability to communicate this way. You understand? So
Radio check 50.
good check. So the small range radio, the short range radio, has a 5 kilometer radius unless there's terrain affecting that range. Do you understand?
Copy.
All right, good. So if you're this far away, you can use the radio to speak to each other. Understand?
Copy.
All right. So you now know how to set up your channel. You know how to use the radio. Next, I'm going to talk to you about
Just a question. Like,
Uh-huh.
what is the key for radio?
caps lock. To bring it up,
No.
like to change Control P.
Control key. Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll remember.
Yeah. Okay. So next thing is when to use a radio, right? So radio is like a very essential piece of equipment. Generally, what is happening is that you'll be part of a squad, and in the squad you'll be part of a team. Understand? So there are two levels of leadership right within the squad itself. That is your team leader and your squad leader, right? And then there is another level of
got it.
leadership above there. That is the platoon leader. Okay. Now the
Got
thing is, the platoon leader, the team leader, the platoon leader, the squad leader, and the fire team leader is always in communication with each other to kind of stay on the toes as to what is happening exactly on the ground. So you want to reduce the instances of where you are going to be affecting the communication between these three nodes. You understand? So what I'm getting to at here is that you're trying to use the radio for as little as possible and only when necessary. You want to use radios for calling out things like threats. You want to use radios for calling out things like IEDs and things like that. Things that might affect the well-being of your immediate fire team or the squad in general. Okay. So if you see a vehicle, don't just say it to the next person. You call it out on the radio, right? But what you don't want to call out on the radio is when you're talking to somebody about how their day was. You don't want to talk about that on the radio, right? Because it clogs up the space. It's like very valuable real estate. The best way to understand it is the radio space is a valuable real estate in the battlefield, right? You want to try to use as little as possible of it in order to keep the efficiency of the entire squad up. Get it?
Oh, yeah. Got it.
So radio etiquette. And the next thing is whenever you're using the radio, even when you have to, try to be as precise as possible. We'll talk about that in later navigating tracking, but you want to be as precise as possible for the shortest time as possible and get the best quality of the message out, right? So you don't want to say, oh, I think I see a car out there, I'm not sure whether it's hostile or friendly. You don't want to say it all of that. So you want to say something like possible contact next to the tree, right? You want to try and shorten that communication. You don't want to use it like in plain English, right? You want to, if you've seen military movies, you want to try and use communication like that. Get it?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that should cover radio communication. Next is formation and movements. We're going to move up to a tar for this. One sec.
Off to that.
A tar. One sec. Okay, just look this way towards the southeast. On the bottom you see northeast, southwest, right? You see that?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I see
So
it.
if you look left, right, you'll be able to see which way you're facing generally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's look southeast right now. I'm going to spawn a squad in front of us, and I'm going to walk you through the 3 different formations that we are generally going to use. So you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. So just look at the bottom. You see a specific formation that they have made.
Yes.
This formation is called a wedge. Okay.
Okay, wedge.
A wedge, right? So the thing is, when we're moving around in open spaces and things like that, we use this formation. Reason being that it has the most ability to create a firing line from wherever the threat is needed in 3 different directions. Whenever the threat is identified, and it generally gives the exposure to the threat in any direction is considerably lower compared to like any other formation. So when you're moving in a formation like this, whenever you're in a formation, when you're moving in a formation like this, you want to try and keep the formation up. So if you look at them, they're currently moving. They're going to move in that same formation as well. You see how that's working? They're trying to keep up with the fire team leader. The guy in the front, absolute front, is the leader. Okay, he's the squad leader. So they're all keeping up with the formation. Obviously, these are AI, but sometimes they get messed up. Yeah. So this is the most used formation. You want to try and keep up in a formation. When we say form a wedge, so you want to, let's say for example, you are somewhere here. The guy I'm placed in the middle. The guy I'm placing left, right, here and there.
Yeah,
So imagine you're there, and if I say, okay, all right, boys, form a wedge on me. So you'll run all the way. The other people have already formed up. You'll run all the way, and you'll find your position wherever it's in the wedge, and you'll fall back in formation. Understand? This falling back stuff applies to all formations that we're going to use. All right. Now let's change this to a line, more commonly known as a firing line. So a firing line is exactly what you think it would be. It's a fucking, one sec. This guy is facing that way. Let me make him face us. So a firing line is what you would think it is. It's a line of people ready to fire at whatever. This is most effective when we are approaching a known enemy threat. Reason being that we have the most number of guns facing the same direction and things like that. And it's weak on its flanks because obviously only one element can shoot at it from either side, right? Understand? So you know what a flank is on the left and right?
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah, okay. So on the flank, it's the weakest. We use these formations when we know that there is a specific threat and we know our flanks are clear. We're going to move up to that threat and create a firing line. And So you understand, this is the second formation that we have to teach. Next is a column. So a column is like column.
Okay.
Right? Column. Like
column.
row column, like in Excel.
Got it, column.
Yeah. So a column is when everybody is one behind the other. Understand?
Okay,
This is the third most common one when we are moving, specifically in forests, in narrow tree covers and things like that. You don't want to be seen from the flanks. This is the most effective formation when you're thinking that you'll be attacked from the flanks, because obviously you have each gun can fire from on both sides, right? So you have the most number of guns and it's the weakest in the front and back. Understand?
Yeah, understood.
Got it.
Only one
Okay.
person.
Yeah. Now there is another variant of this. It's called the staggered column. This is also a very used formation. Just remember it for now. We will go through it in your next training session, whenever that is. This is called the staggered column. Just watch how the formation moves. So you'll understand how to get into this formation whenever we are in a column and then we are moving into staggered column. So just watch this.
Okay, watching.
It's AI, so they'll do stupid shit before they get into it. Just the only thing you have to remember is a column. It's just that every alternate guy is on the other side, right?
It's like
So-
a zigzag.
Yeah, it's exactly like a zigzag. So if I ask them to move back into a column, they just can fit right in. So there's space between. It's like the space is still there for the element on the left side. Get it?
Yeah, got it.
This is mostly used in urban areas where we are moving through terrain. So the other side, these fuckers on the left will be on the opposite side of the road. Understood?
No, I didn't get the last part.
So like, there is like a road, right?
Mm-hmm.
So on either side of the road, this zigzag will be formed. Understand? No? Still no?
Either side of the road means?
One sec. I'll just show it to you. Give me a sec. We'll get teleported right now, okay? Teleport players. Alright, so this is a simulated urban environment. Understand?
Yeah.
Now, I'm just going to show you what it would be like when we are moving in a staggered column in an urban formation, in an urban center. So, this is kind of what I'm trying to get across. Maybe I wasn't being clear. But this is, oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah, I
Do
got it. Got
Do you understand?
Other side of the road means I got
Yeah,
it.
like opposite sides of the road.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Got it? Okay. Now, next, this is all for formations that you need to know. Next is spacing, cover, and concealment. Okay. So, just watch this, okay? I'm going to put I'm going to put 4 people very close to each other.
Okay.
Right? And I'm going to put 4 people somewhat close to each other, but not like fucking kissing each other like in the first formation. Right? Now, if I throw a grenade, which one do you think is going to get damaged more?
The close
If I-
one?
Yeah, exactly, right? So,
Yeah.
spacing is like a concept in Arma where whenever there's a projectile, you want to have, whenever you're moving around wherever, you want to have considerable space from your second element, about 5 to 10 meters, okay? So, these guys are gonna fucking die. If anything, like an RPG, a grenade, anything fucking comes, all of them are gonna fucking die. Or at least get so badly injured, they're not gonna be able to fight, right? Those guys are gonna be fine on the other hand, right? If a grenade comes, they're just gonna they're gonna be chilling. Nothing. It's not even gonna affect them mostly. Like might affect one guy, but like rest of them are gonna be chill. Okay. So that's spacing. I hope you understand. I don't want to like demonstrate. Okay. Next is cover. So when I say take cover, what does that mean to you?
I need to get something in front of me for like.
Yeah. Essentially. So that is what it is. So there are 3 variants actually of cover in the game. But the other one is called concealment. So we'll just talk about cover. So there's soft cover and hard cover. Do you understand what soft cover and hard cover means?
Yeah, like soft cover where bullet will be penetrating.
Yes.
And hard cover.
Is something which the bullet and things like that can't project. Okay, good. So soft cover and hard cover. If I say get to cover, that generally means hard cover. You don't want to find a soft cover. Okay. So soft cover can only be for certain things where, like for example, we've got a grenade or something. You can do with a soft cover. It won't like kill you, right? But if hard cover is there, always prefer hard cover. Next is concealment. What do you think that term means? Concealment.
No idea.
Okay, so concealment is just breaking visual contact. So for example, if there's a patrol that's coming down that way, like from that road, so we can hide behind the bush, and this can be counted as concealment.
Okay,
Get it?
just hide ourselves.
Yeah, so visual contact needs to be broken between you and the element that. Yeah, so when I say conceal yourselves, that means use anything it doesn't matter if it's soft cover, hard cover, it doesn't matter. All you need to do is kind of cover yourself from the enemy's ability to see you. Get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Good. Spacing, cover, and concealment. Good. Okay. Yeah. Good. Okay. Navigation, tracking, and map markers. Okay. So, navigation, tracking, and map markers are very important. So, if you press M, you can open up your map.
Yeah, I can see it.
So, you see the ISD training FOB, right? You see the ISD training FOB?
Training FOB. Yeah, got
You
it.
see that? You can scroll wheel to zoom in and out. Okay, so a map has an insane amount of detail. Like you can basically tell everything about a particular region just by looking at the map. Sorry. So do you know, by any chance, how to read a map in terms of if I were to give you a grid coordinate, would you be able to tell me where that is?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you tell me the grid of the ISD training FOB marker, not the FOB itself, but the marker itself?
It's in 10 or 05.
Sorry?
1005 grid.
1005. No, so basically what you kind of just want to do, right, to find the grid of anything is, let's zoom in all the way into the FOB training marker, all the way, as much as you can. Put it into the center. So you see it's right side of just the line, just right side of the line of 047 that is coming from the top. You see that?
Right side of the line. Yeah.
On the top of on the top, you see a line coming all the way to the bottom. See that line?
Yes.
That is
Yes,
the
yes.
latitude. Okay, so whenever you're reading a map, whenever you're reading a grid coordinate, it is always latitude first and then longitude afterwards. Okay, so right now it's
Okay.
047, right? 047 is the first three letters of the grid.
Yes.
Get it?
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
zoom out a little bit. Go to the bottom one. So always, whenever there is a grid, right, the grid starts from the bottom one. Do you see what I'm highlighting right now? Do you see the intersection that I'm highlighting?
No.
Go down a little bit from that marker itself, right? Go down a little bit to the first horizontal line you see. Not the vertical. Vertical we've got 047. We've got first horizontal line you see. You tell me. Have you zoomed all the way in?
Yeah, I've zoomed in
All the way.
all the way. Yeah.
Now, use your primary mouse button. You use your second mouse button, like your right click, to move around the map. Move the map around. That's your primary mouse. You can move the map around. Now go down a little bit. First horizontal line you see. You tell me that. When you see that first horizontal line.
Yeah, I can see that yellow dot.
Yeah. So this horizontal line you see.
Yes.
What is the number on it?
102.
Perfect. So if I were to ask you the grid of the training FOB, it would be 047102. Do you understand?
Yeah, understood.
Okay.
But
So
why not 103?
why not 103? Why? No. So a grid, right? So a grid is always from the left corner of it. So if we go like all the way to the bottom of the map on the left side, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the way. So if you like see this place over here. Do you see this? Do you like all the way to the left corner? Do you see my marker?
00. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's 0000000. It's this corner that defines that grid start, right? It spans about that much, but it starts all the way over here. It's not like the closest one to that is the number. Which grid is it in is the more accurate way to do it, right? So you understand how to find grids, right?
Yeah, understood.
Okay. Now you can. So
No,
on the
do I have to zoom all the way every time? Like there are numbers changing for latitude.
yeah. No. So like it's a faster way to find it. So if you know that the grids, so if I were to say, okay, find me the grid 084129, you can zoom out all the way to where it gives you only two. You see 08, okay, it's in this latitude. And what did I say, 129, right? So you see 12 and then you can zoom in and then you can figure it out. Like you can find it right there.
Oh, okay.
Like it's fast way to figure it out.
Got it. Yeah.
Understand? Okay.
Yeah, understood.
So that is the reading. That is like right now the basic reading part. We'll go in the more important parts later on. Basic navigation is obviously get out of your map. So if I tell you, okay, we're going to start heading northeast. Can you start heading northeast? Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So whenever we are moving, we never say, oh, I'm going to start moving right, because your right is different from my right. Get it? You always want to talk about the direction that you're heading on the compass. Okay. Now, you can more accurately tell which way you're going. So if I say something like, okay, boys, let's start moving bearing 150, right? So you can press K to pull up your compass. Press K. There we go.
Yeah.
Now, if I say 150, you can move the more you rotate, it'll rotate. So face 150. There we go. So that is the compass part of it. So if you know how to look up bearings, you know how to look up directions. Next thing what I want you to learn is how to report things. Okay. So if you have, let's say for example, these four fuckers we have right here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you were the first one to spot them and we were somewhere far away, right? We were not like right in front of them. We would say something on the radio. We'd call it like contact bearing 140 on 140 on the road, right? You'd say something like that. You want to give the bearing because the entire squad ke liye jo bearing hogi, that will be more or less the same. Get it?
Bearing means?
Bearing is the number that you are reading. Like so for south it's 180. You see it? Press K. For south it's 180. You see the numbers on the inner circle. On the inner circle. The numbers. It's a 360-degree protractor around you. Okay.
No, but this is showing 32 and 180.
No, so that one is the azimuth. You don't want to read the upper one. The upper one is for artillery. Don't worry about that.
Okay,
Just the inner one, right?
Okay. Okay.
So you want to just look at the inner one. The inner one is the bearing for that. So if you know what a protractor is, right? You did that in your
Yes,
geometry
yes.
class. So if you have a 180-degree ka protractor, just double that, 360, and it's
Yeah, I
on
got
you. So yeah, it's always stable. So you always can tell which direction you're facing. If I say, okay, all right, start facing bearing 160. All right, good. Okay, so okay, now let's face bearing 300. All right, good. So that's basically how you would be able to navigate and like tell around you. Okay, so which way are we heading? Which way is my squad? Somebody comes up to you, and you know that that his friendly squads are that way. So you say which way to go? Where's my squad, dude? Towards the south. Get it? Not towards my right, my left. That guy's left, or my up and my down.
Yeah.
Okay, it's always better to be more precise, and it helps everybody in that way. Okay. Next, I mean, there is a lot more to this. It's just like slipping my mind a little bit. It's not even in my document. I have to change a little bit on that. Calling out contacts. Yeah. So calling out contacts is like a very important function of your object as a rifleman, right? So if you see a contact, contact is anything that you haven't identified yet but is a possible hostile. Okay, so you call it out as contact and you give the bearing. So you wanna do, there's a golden rule. Okay, so you wanna give the ID, that is what it is. So first you wanna say,
Okay.
you wanna yell contact. I see a man bearing. I see a man. Then you want to give the bearing, the approximate bearing from your direction. So let's say it's at 180. So I say contact, man bearing 180 next to that garage. So the third one is the landmark, right? Third one is the landmark or the distance. That is the golden rule. There's the fourth one that is distance, but you won't be able to approximate it now because you're just getting into the game. Eventually you'll be able to like approximate how much that is. So for example, I can tell that is about 25 meters or so. Like no, not 25, even 15 meters or so. Right, like this garage right here, right? So
Yeah.
I'd be able to say, oh, okay, contact in the garage bearing south, approximately 15 meters out. So you want to be, so you just want to say that for your team leader, squad leader, whatever, to register that as a threat, possible threat, check it out, and all that stuff, right? And if it is correct, we'll be able to take action on that threat particularly. You don't want to be like, I think I see somebody moving. He's next to that garage on my left. You see how
Okay.
indescriptive that is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to be so remember the golden rule. One is ID. What are you looking at? Number two is bearing. That is the compass bearing from your current direction, from your current location. And number three is either approximate distance or a landmark. So anything can be a landmark. I see electric pole, bearing that way, electric pole. I see a brick house. I see a garage, garage. I see a building with a blue roof, building with a blue roof. Anything can be a landmark. Get it?
Yeah,
This one, military style wall. Anything can be a landmark as long as you have a word for it. Okay?
Okay.
Good. Okay. Next is basic engagement rules. There are three engagement statuses that you can be at. One is weapons green. Do you understand what that is?
Weapons?
Weapons green.
No.
So weapons green is weapons free. That means anything that you
User joined your
see is a
channel.
threat, take it out. Like you're clear to open fire on anything, right? Next status is weapons orange. Weapons orange is you either take permission from your fire team leader, or you fire when fired upon. You understand that?
Yeah, understood.
Okay. Then the last one is weapons red. You don't fire even when you're fired upon. Get it?
Yeah, got it.
All right. So these are the three. Now, engagement rules, obviously, I don't think I have to spell it out. You don't kill civilians, no matter what. You don't kill local wildlife, no matter what. And you generally don't want to be a dick, right? You don't shoot at religious buildings or hospitals, things like that. Understand?
Yeah, understood.
No explosives in civilian areas and things like that. Okay. All right.
But how do I differentiate between the civilian and...
If they're shooting at you, they're not civilian. Get it?
Okay.
You'll learn that. Like it's
Okay.
it's something that you gain from experience mostly. Mindset training. This is the final one. final thing in the training for BCT. So Arma is a MilSim game. Okay, MilSim is short for military simulation game. It's unlike most of the games out there. Like I think I saw you play Squad, and like any other game that you can think of, it's unlike those. The most fun comes in this game from the coordination and being with your guys, like, you know, seeing your plans unfold and like occur beautifully. Like that's where the game is at its best. Obviously shooting the weapons is fun, like taking down enemies is fun. That is just sliver of it, but the real actual pie, like the creme of the actual cake, is the coordination. Whenever you're in the game, you want to be as coordinative, like conducive to the coordination as possible. Okay, you don't want to be a cog. You don't want to try. You don't want to like run away from the squad and things like that. You don't want to be a impediment, because if you get taken down and nobody sees you go down, it's very likely that they will realize only after the firefight has ended, right?
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
so you want to stay together. If you see somebody go down, you want to let them know, okay, I think one of our men went down, one of our guys is down, something like that, right? So the coordination, the communication and things like that is the main best shit of the game, right? And that generally covers the sum of it all. You understand, right? You've done a little bit of research before getting into the game.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah. Okay, good. So generally, just like whenever you think there's something going wrong, just remember this specific portion of this training, right? Mindset is very important, and like certain areas will not be exactly to your liking, but when you get into it, when you understand it, it'll be like the best shit ever. We guys have been playing these games for over years. I personally have close to 3,000 hours on the game. So like it's like my primary game for most of the people over here, right? So like it's just like a experience that you cannot find in any other game. All right, that's about it for the mindset. Rest Q&A if you have any questions for me generally. About the training or about the unit or about, you know, like the game itself or about anything at all. No?
Like I just don't know how to connect, how to start.
What?
How to start the game, like how to connect, from where we have to connect this squad while playing together.
Oh, okay. So I'll lay it out for you. So we have weekly operations. We have operations on Saturday and Sunday. Okay. So Saturday we have it at around 9 p.m. in the night, and Sunday we have it around 3:30 in the afternoon. Okay. We also play during the weeks. So for example, right now we'll go and play a mission. We also play during the weeks when there are like 3 or 4 5 people sitting in the VC, right? They'll just suddenly start a game. So there is no like fixed schedule for the rest of the week. For Friday, on Friday in the evening, right around 9, there is a training. So there's a unit training. So people come, they get all sorts of training. So right now, what I've just covered with you is a small part of what you can do. There's so much shit in this game. Like it's nuts. Like it'll just take you 200 hours to like just learn the keybinds, not even get the game understood properly. There's just so much content. There's just so much shit to do. Like the number of add-ons, the community-based mods. There's so much crap in this game. It's fucking retarded, right? So you want to just like you'll have trouble keeping up with the amount of stuff that there is in the game. So on Fridays we do trainings. So you're welcome to attend those. Next step in your training per se is a BIT. So what we just did right now is a BCT. BCT is basic combat training, without which you won't be able to effectively work in the field. BIT is what makes you a proper soldier, like what makes you like a proper useful tool in the field, right? So there's like a bunch of other concepts that you need to know, which is far more engaging than this. Over here, we didn't even fucking do any shooting, but we'll do that right now anyway. So BIT we'll do a lot more engagements and things like that.
What's the full form of BIT?
Basic infantry training.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the next step. We'll do that Friday. No worries. Right now, let's go and meet up with the guys and let's play something. Are you down for playing, or do you have to go somewhere?
No, I'm down to play.
All right, fantastic. I'm going to end the stream because this concludes your BCT. Welcome to the unit. I'm going to promote you to NCO because your BCT is done. All right. Just give me 1 sec.
NCO.